you want to ask the questions? Like,
yeah. Well, look, first of all, I want to give you a very, very warm welcome. So Eliana Pelaggi, is that right?
Pelaggi.
Pelaggi. Eliana Pelaggi, and from Italy, but living in Tenerife. And we're so pleased to have you on our call this evening. And we are just fascinated to hear your story. So one moment you were an SDD, the next moment you were an NMD. So, you know, it is really fascinating for people to hear your story and hear, you know, what has happened and how you've achieved this. So we're really, really thrilled. And thank you very, very much indeed for coming on. So first of all, Eliana, can you just tell us a little bit about your background? Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So nice to see you guys. Like I met many of you at the conferences. I'm 29 years old at the moment. I moved to the UK in 2012. I am a photographer, and when I moved to the UK, I just wanted to learn English. That was the main goal, and mainly discovering a new culture, a new life, and starting to travel, because that's my biggest passion. So the first few years of my London life weren't very easy because, you know, can you imagine coming from another country, you need to learn English, paperwork. So the first few years like took me a little bit to get into my life. But when everything was stable, I found a job in photography again. And you know, guys, I hated. It was a full-time job in an e-com studio in South London, okay? And as much I love photography, as my biggest passion, I didn't like the 9-to-5 job. I didn't like not being free to go on holiday whenever I wanted, especially because when you, like, I'm Italian, okay? So when you live abroad, you need to decide either you take your vacation to go to see your parents, and either you take your days to go traveling, you know? So all of this and lots of pressure at work, like people were crying at work as much, the pressure was so intense. All of these things like made me feel like, you know what, that's not what I like. So I quit and I went on traveling, okay? I had a 6-month trip in Southeast Asia. And that was the biggest breakthrough in my life. I think that I discovered freedom for the first time. For 6 months, I was able to go wherever I want, waking up whenever I wanted. I used to wake up at 5 just to go and taking pictures of the sunrise. It was just like pure freedom, okay? And that feeling of freedom, it really stuck in my mind. That was the moment where I said, you know what? I will never, ever be employed anymore in my life. That was the moment, because I actually experienced, you know, I've done voluntary job for 2.5 months. It was just amazing. I was happy. And I said, it cannot all finish in 6 months. It was just unbearable for me. And it's quite interesting now, looking backwards, how it happened, because at the end of that trip, I got the offer. Okay, about Juice Plus. So I was living this mystic period of my life where I discovered freedom, and just at the end of my trip, I received a message on Facebook by my friend Francesca. Hi, Eliana, hi. I'm watching your pictures. Where are you? I do have a job that you would love because it will make you travel. That was pretty much what the message said. And you know what, guys? Like when I looked at this message, I was, you know, Francesca is a good friend of mine. I said, tell me more about it, but I don't know what's going on. She said it could have been done part-time. It was in nutrition. And quite funny, like I was not interested for myself. I was interested for my mother. And that is the first thing I can ever recommend to you, is never prejudge anyone, because I was not like, you know, I'm a photographer, and unfortunately I'm speaking about the artist field. As an artist, like we are a little bit snobby about anything is not related to art. We think like, oh my God, this is not artistic enough for my skills, you know, something silly like that. But I was intrigued to help my mom. I thought like, well, you know what, she could do it. So let me see more what is it about. I didn't understand anything. I just understood it was an online job she could do from home. So I said, you know what, I'll be coming soon to London. Like, yes, like let's sign up. Like I didn't know anything. Like total surprise. Okay, so I arrived to London, I went to my first event, and I wanted to quit immediately because I was really pushed back by that event. There was someone standing up on a stage saying like, oh, who wants to be a millionaire? And I was like, man, what have I done here? Like, where am I? Like, what's going on? So eventually that was a very funny situation because I brought few people at that event without knowing anything. And two of those people wanted to sign up. So I was pretty much hooked in this game, you know. So just wanted to let you know how much I was confused at the beginning, because you, James, were asking me how were my first 6 months in the business, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So my first 6 months in the business were a disaster because I was very confused about myself and about what I was doing. Okay, because my main goal was to help my mom. That's how I started. That's my starter pack. Okay, but I wanted to share this, and I'm really happy to say this to everyone, because even if I was very confused about the whole Just Plus business and everything, I had a very huge motivation to carry on in somehow, because I really wanted to help my mom. So my why, okay, such is still very strong now, is really to help my mother. Okay, so that was the only sure point that it kept me in. So that's what.
Can I ask you, Eliana, what was it about your mother that really motivated you? What was it that you thought, right, I really want to, I mean, obviously we all want to help our mothers. We love our mothers so much, but what was it particularly you thought, wow, I must help my mother?
Well, that's a very personal thing, because I had a very difficult childhood, okay, and my mom worked always so hard to support to support me, really, and I really want to give her back something, especially because at the moment she's unemployed, okay, so she doesn't work. She lost her job with the Italian crisis, so I was really looking for something to support her also financially. You understand? Like I really felt like if I can in somehow give a job to my mom that she can support herself and be, financially stable, I would do it.
Okay, that's great. So what was your first 6 months like? I mean, so you decided to get going, you'd had some guests at the event and they decided to start. What was your first 6 months like? What happened?
Well, the first 6 months, I was really confused. I mean, I didn't know where I ended up. Absolutely not. I mean, I really loved my friend Francesca, and I thought like, well, she would never put me in something weird. So the trust I had in her made me go to more events. And I think I really started like taking the business a little bit seriously. I don't even want to say too much seriously, but when I went to my first conference, okay.
And which one was that?
Was it Brighton 2015?
Right.
That was the conference. That was the moment where I actually realized that this was a business. That was the moment where I was taking the products. Okay, I was really scared. I was kind of brainwashing myself because I could see the benefits on my body. I could see the benefits of the premium on my boyfriend that is diabetic, and I was thinking, is this real? I was really scared, guys. I was full of fear at the beginning, okay? Because I always thought, oh my God, I need to analyze everything. And I just needed to make sure that the product was actually what we all said it was, So going at the first conference, it made me think like, wow, I heard Dr. Nigel, okay? And his speech was fantastic. I thought like, this is what I want to share with people. And that was the first night that I made my list of contacts, and where I ran the GoPro. So for me, I really think that I started working in November 2015, because that was actually the time where I've done something. I was still very confused. So what I say, that when you are so full of fears, you block, okay? Like you kind of like, you try to do something, you do maybe a small action, but you can't let yourself go that much. So my first 6 months were nothing. I didn't do even DD, I could not I was making maybe one order, speaking to a friend, but I was hiding myself because I was still scared. Okay. I was still scared. And I went to another event in March. I went to Madrid. And that, you know, going to events, guys, it makes such a difference. Well, first of all, I was coming to all your nights in South Kensington because I was coming like when you were doing it weekly, I was always there. And I think that I grew my belief like week by week, events by events, like being part of the whole family, because there was part of my brain that was saying like, you know, this is not for you, you're a photographer. And another part of me was like, you know what, I like this, you know. I was growing my belief like week by week. So it does sometimes, you know, we do see people sometimes doing skyrockets. For other people it takes a little bit of time to grow.
What was your, Eliana, what was your, okay, so you're struggling along a little bit, you know, as a lot of people do, as we all do when we first start. And then obviously something happened. What was your first big breakthrough where you thought, right, this is what I need to do?
Yeah.
What was it that made you realize the path you wanted to take, particularly with the online?
Yeah, well, I actually started doing something small online from the very beginning. So I always worked online, but I went really for it when I got my first check of passive income. I realized what was going on because I started, you know, since November, I started do something and I started posting something on Facebook, contacting people, but not in a very massive actions, okay? Just a little bit. What happened, because I was working as a photographer again, as a freelancer in London. So some days I was working, some days I was doing just plus. Eventually, in April, I got my rock star. I got an NMD in my team, okay, at the moment. And that's her. When she started, like, she got so much.
Where did you find her from? Where did she come from?
From Facebook, because she was an old friend of mine, but we just lost contacts a little bit since she moved to US and I moved to UK. And I posted my lifestyle, what I was doing on Facebook. And one day she messaged me and she said, Eliana, what are you doing? Because I might like what you do.
Yeah.
Eventually, I was at the very, you know, I was almost letting go all my fears. I was almost there, okay? Then eventually she arrived on the game and she was a tornado in my team, you know? She entered and she really went for it. And that was good because it put me up, you know, having lots of energy. And I remember that I went off to Cuba for 3 weeks. I hit SDD. I went to Cuba for 3 weeks. Francesca was really upset about it. She said like she's gonna disappear forever. And it was a very interesting moment because that was the first month where I literally done almost zero. I literally put 2 orders in, okay? And at the end of my trip, I had a £500 check in my bank account. And that was coming from all the work that Sylvia and other few people did, okay? And I was shocked. I was totally shocked. I remember I was at the airport. I was doing a flight. I was waiting for a flight exchange. And I checked my bank accounts and I said, man, how much I spent on this holiday? I need to see here. And I seen a £500 check. And I said, how that's possible? I was like, this is unreal. This is like, oh my God. And I thought, oh my God, this is true. And being away also made me lose the client. I used to work, I had Topshop as a client in my portfolio as a freelancer. And because I went away for 3 weeks, I lost the client. They got another photographer to cover me. So luckily I had that money to sustain all the loss that I had. So for me, that was a very breakthrough moment because I thought like, wow, if it wasn't for this, I will be screwed this month because I really needed something else. And that was at the right moment, at the right time. And it really opened my eyes.
Yeah.
Because we all talk about passive income, but when actually you receive it, is like, wow.
Yeah, yeah. So tell us, Eliana, what was Sylvia actually doing? So Sylvia came in and you said she went like a rocket. What did she do? What happened with her that made her go so fast?
Well, like she was really working hard because she had no excuses, okay? Like she had a massive time zone, okay, difference from US to Italy. She was waking up at 5 a.m. contact people online on Facebook. I think she hit SDD in 2 weeks, if I remember well. And she was just going mental online, contacting lots of people. And in the only 2 hours she had, staying on a train, going to work, and on a lunch break. And watching her, like, it made me feel like, wow, like, it was just an amazing positive energy I also received from her, and it made me, you know, it gave me also the kick to start as well.
No, that's great. And what was she saying to people to attract so many people? What do you know what her approach was online that attracted so many people?
Well, first of all, she went contacting all of her friends on Facebook that she already had, saying that she was starting something like a new nutritional plan that she loved, because she loves nutrition. So she was already interested in this field, and she just contacted everyone saying like, hey, you know what, I'm starting something new, this is amazing, this is a new program. So that helped her to do the first promotion, the first.
Yeah. That's very exciting. So people, I think, would love to know a little bit more in detail about your daily method of operation. So here you are. Wow. So here you are, so successful online, you know, but interesting. It's very interesting that your friend Sylvia was someone that you had actually known before. So she wasn't like a completely new person you'd met online. This was an old friend. So that's always an interesting, you know, reflection. Yeah. So tell us though, Eliana, what are you doing on a daily basis? Tell us a little bit about what we call your DMO, your daily method of operation.
Well, nowadays my DMO is structured in some what I call power hours, okay? And what I have the rest of the day for team follow-up, Zoom calls, and etc. But there are some actions I have to do every day, okay, to grow my business. And I like to divide them in 2 hours, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, so I make sure my business grows, okay? So these actions, I just read it for you, and then we can go through it in depth. So I send every day between 10 to 50 friends requests on Facebook, and later I tell you how. I do comments on my friends list on Facebook. In Facebook, you have this little thing, it's called friends list group, okay? And when I add someone new on Facebook, I put it on a special list, and I go check it day by day, and I go comments people. How Facebook works. Facebook works with algorithms, I can't pronounce that now. Anyway, it works only if you comment on people's posts, okay? If you are not active on Facebook, commenting and liking people's stuff, they will not see your post. So on a daily basis, I need to make sure I go and comment the posts of these people. And I use this friends list group. I contact my clients list group, just commenting and writing something under their pictures. And I do use loads the Facebook groups. Like, for example, you love dogs, you go on Labrador's fan page, dogs, and group, and you go there and you interact with people. That's where I get most of my contacts, on Facebook groups. I do send private message to the new people that add me back, and that we can see what I send as well. I do chase likes. If someone likes my post, I go and chat with those people because they're clearly interested in what I do. I do follow up with my clients twice a week, and I follow up with prospects as well that I contact recently, but I don't do it more than once, twice a week, otherwise you keep on speaking only to the same people. So I make sure that every day I share the products on the business with all these people I'm contacting, okay? Because it comes from who you contact 3 days ago, who you added like as a new person, you're gonna contact it a little bit later, okay? So I make sure I do all of these actions, spread it in 2 hours a day. So that's my power hours. So those actions are really important to grow my business, okay? So what I do after is like answering to all the messages that come through. I realized that, well, in Italy we have a little bit of different times, but after work is the time where everybody's connected. So I try to focus my products or business charts at late afternoon, evening time. It all depends also by the month I'm leaving. For example, in April, we had the conference and I traveled like a crazy. So I'm flexible about that. Now that I want to hit a promotion, I'm like, evenings, I chat, I contact people because I know it's the peakest time, it's the peak time.
In the evening, and what time in the evening do you find really, really good?
After work. So in UK, it's like after 6, okay? Well, after 5 really, because people finish to work between 5 and 6. And about 10 o'clock, I want to switch off, but people are still online because, you know, in the end, everybody works. So I try to do my power hours early in the morning and early in the afternoon so I can take back whatever it comes from these actions.
Yeah, that's amazing. So tell us, Eliana, a little bit more about you're building a team, because, okay, it's fine. You know, you're contacting people online and you're building relationships, but you've clearly gone well beyond just building relationships. You've built a tremendous team. And obviously you've got Sylvia, but you've of course got a lot of other people. So tell us a little bit about how you actually go about building a team, and you know, how that has worked.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do love making people interact with each other. Like I really care about us being really united. I like the fact that we all talk to each other and I really make an effort on it. When I get someone new, I invite him immediately, find someone you like in the team and start chatting to him. So you make friends, okay? That's
right,
something.
so you bring them into your team page, do you? Or your...
Yeah. I do have. Well, we still do have one massive group as a Be Phenomenal movement group, okay, with Francesca and Daniele all together. And then when I speak to them and I do my private calls, I say, find someone, buddy up with someone, because you really need to make friends in the team. And I always ask them to interact with each other. I ask them to do some live on Facebook together. This is something that is really working well for us. For example, we do Facebook live interview, okay? And we call it like Phenomenal Radio. So we just make it fun, you know, so they can call each other, share the story, and just make people curious about it. You know, that is really helping to bond them. And I do make an effort to make it interact. I do have a group chats with everyone, and I really try to, you know, okay, oh yeah, you should really get to know this person. This is so cool, and I like to have them really united.
Well done. Now, in about 5 minutes, we're going to open it up to questions from everyone, if you'd like to. So if you'd like to put your questions down in the chat box, I'll go back over them and I'll ask Eliana the questions. So please start thinking about questions that you would like to ask her. So what are your 5 top tips for success, Eliana? You know, everybody says, oh, what are your best big tips? What would you say? Someone said, oh, please tell me, Eliana, please tell me your top 5 secrets, in a sense.
Well, okay. Well, I tell you all, okay? Understanding what you want, first of all, otherwise you're never gonna go anywhere in life and in this business as well. So write it down, like sit down for once in a while, write down what you want and really be specific and clear of what you really desire in life, what are your goals, because you will soon realize that often you just don't know what you really want. So that's my first. Second, make sure you visualize it every single day. The first things I do in the morning is taking time for myself. I don't watch the phone. I don't have breakfast at the beginning. I just sit down. I watch my vision board. I put some headphones in and I visualize my future. Okay, what I want, and I feel it. I make it real. I really see it as it's really happening, and I do it every morning. I write down my goals, okay, and I repeat affirmations. I do really believe in this stuff, especially early in the morning. So third thing is to be generous and kind with yourself. I was stuck on SC for quite a while, for like 8 months, and I realized I was very mean with myself, okay, saying bad words about you. Oh my god, I'm stupid, or like focusing only on what you don't have is really, really poisonous for you. Focus on always and be grateful for what you already got, and all kind of like for magic, new things will happen. So at the moment, I kind of like deleted from my vocabulary the bad words that I could say about myself. And I always use kind words. And trust me, it does make such a big difference on your mindset. Mindset in this business is everything. The fourth is work on your self-development daily. If you don't put fresh, new, positive, inspiring stuff in your brain, there is no way you can handle it if something bad happens. So I make sure I read something inspirational every single day. And never compare to anyone, only to yourself, because that is so poisonous for your brain. It's, first of all, it's pointless because we all have different lives and we never know what's happening in someone else's life. We always focus only on the bright sides. Oh my God, she already done this, and we don't know what she faced. So only compare to yourself, because that's is the only big challenge you can get over from.
Okay, no, that's amazing and very, very inspiring. I love what you say about visualization. I think that's really, really extraordinary. So let us ask very quickly, what are your goals for this year?
Oh, well, I have very high goals. I want to do IMD this month. I'm really working on it. We're working on the team. We're still quite far, but you know what? I realized that I'm never focusing on what's is missing. I'm focusing on what I've got. Okay, so I focus on the abundance, and I go and I go and I go. I want PMD by Barcelona. Okay, I'm really like, I just want it, and I keep on, you know, now I can't show you my vision board because it's in the other room, but I got all the pictures of Barcelona, all the venue, and I see it every single day. I want to be fluent in Spanish because this is going to help to grow my business in Spain as well. And I write all of these goals and I make it happen by the end of the year.
Wow, God, that's amazing. And I think I mean, it sounds to me like you're definitely going to do it. I mean, that's really extraordinary. So for the new people listening, you know, for the first time tonight, what would you say to them? How would you describe the excitement of the opportunity that we have here?
Well, most of all, like, I can say that for sure you still don't know where you ended up. I would say, like, for once in a while, try to forget everything you learned by the society and dream as big as you can, okay? And just focus on those dreams. Because with this opportunity, you can actually make them true, but you need to let all the fears go. And I hope for all of you that you can make the fears go as soon as possible. Think about your happiness. What about prejudgments of other people? Are they contributing to your happiness? Will those opinions make you happy? Because that's what I needed to face in my life. When I realized that, I gave the 100% and I had results. So I would say just, you know, dream big and let yourself go without fears.
Yeah. And what would you say when you say letting go of the fears? What are some of the fears, the specific fears that you feel that you've had to let go of, if you don't mind me asking?
For me, it was prejudgments about other people, because as a photographer, I was so scared by my colleagues' opinion, you know, because I thought like, oh my God, what they would think. I always been involved in charity photography and blah, 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 blah. And all suddenly I start doing also something else. So for me, it was mainly that it was blocking me so much. Every time I was about to do something, I would be like, oh my God, like stuck. And at some point I really faced this and I realized like, seriously, are their opinions making any difference in my life? No. Okay. Are they making me happy? No. Then go away.
Yeah.
So that was the main fear for me, you know.
Great. Okay. Well, that's fascinating. I think we would all share those fears and a sense of prejudgment. And yeah, that's very enlightening. Thank you. So let's just go into some of the questions now from people. And I'm going to ask, first of all, from Chloe Myers. Chloe asks, if you speak to clients twice a week, what kind of things do you say? I'd be worried about pestering them, unless, of course, they're on a cleanse or a nutritional plan. So that's it. So if you speak to your clients twice a week, what kind of things do you say?
I make my clients my friends. I do speak about, like, one thing it will help you on Facebook is to go and like their posts to see what's going on in their lives. If they post pictures of like christening of the baby, oh my God, like that picture is so nice. Like, where have you been? Like, oh, I've seen that. So it's important, yes, to share something with them that can be useful, but not to be all about it. Okay, I don't know how it works in England, but in Italy it works well, so I share it with you. We do have a WhatsApp group chat with all the clients, okay? And that, for me, it works really it's really good because they interact with each other. Sometimes my clients go out for coffee in London together, and I think that's great because they become friends. So I make sure that it's not only about products, but it's also about personal stuff and life. And checking on her Facebook, I can mention something I see, and I think that's as important. And of course, sometimes you send a recipe or stuff, but it's all about the relationship you create.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's fascinating. Now, Vinay from Berlin asks, when do you open your line about the product and the business? So you're developing a rapport with people. You are, getting to know people online. At what point do you start talking potentially about the product and also about the business?
With a new context. Okay, so there are different ways, okay, different methods. I tell you a few. So I find very, very easy to talk about the business, extremely easy, because when I make a new friend on, okay, let's give a practical example. I go on a travelers group, okay? I see a lovely picture of Thailand, and I've been there. I quickly see who responds to that post, okay? I see a person I like. I just see very briefly the profile. I message a private message. Oh my God, have you been to Thailand as well? I love this picture. When have you been there? The person often answers to me because I have a profile where I show my face. I think that's really important, where you are showing who you are. Eventually, this person starts talking to me. We talk about Thailand. And after we talk a little bit, I send a friend request and I say, okay, so what do you live? What do you do in life? She tells me about her. I listen. And then she asks about me. What do you do? That's how I offer the business, because the moment she asks me, what do I do? Oh, I'm a national marketing director for a company and we work in online. And then she's like, what do you do? And that's where my funnel starts. So that's option number one. If I want to show the products, I mainly see who likes my post, because I post on a daily basis about maybe I have a shake and I write some benefits, or maybe I share my personal story about like how I changed my body because I completely transformed myself. So I go and I chat the person that liked my post and I say, oh, how are you? Like, I've seen you like my post. Oh, thank you so much. And often the people that like your products post are very interested, and then you can start the products. It's also all about how much you post, isn't it? And how much you're active.
Yeah, no, interesting. So Char asks, what are some of the specific things you say to people and customers to get them hooked?
Hooked in, like, to buy?
Well, just interested. What are some of the things that you say to a potential customer or something when and they go, "Wow"? What are some of the things? Say again. Tell your story.
Yeah, because one thing I learned, and this is, I mean it, I learned it very well. I always ask questions. Before I say anything, I want to know who they are, where they live, if they have family, what do they do? Because often people just, first of all, people love speaking about themselves. So they would just speak to you. And if you get someone that is a little bit, oh my God, I don't want to speak. Well, but you're not the person I'm interested in. First of all. So when I ask questions and I said, oh, what do you live? What do you do? These people will tell me something. I can actually reply with some, I call it in Italian, throw a coin about my business, because it's all about what do they do. I can't offer something to someone if I don't know if they want it. So I do listen to them a lot. I ask some questions, and sometimes people tell me, you know what, it's such a stressful time of my life because I moved to London and I gained so much weight. And then what do? I have a solution for you. But if you don't know what do they want, it's difficult to get them hooked.
Yeah, yeah. No, that sounds so sensible and very authentic. I love that. So let me just ask very quickly. Katie asks, Katie Cripps, do a lot of your clients turn into team members?
You know what? That's a good question because I don't have a real estimate. I didn't count it recently, but yes, yeah. Because we actually making something new now, and I share it to you because this is helping us a lot. We do offer the business the moment the clients buy the products immediately. So what we do, yeah, not guys, there is, I mean, I'm saying to you because it's working really well, there is no time to wait. You know what I say, the moment they give me either the details or they buy the products, I say, oh my God, now we're gonna start this together, I'm gonna to support you. And because I share the products to you, I wanna show you just plus word in the whole possible ways, and I wanna show you as well how my life is changed. And I show to them we have a group with business testimonials where we share our stories.
Right.
So in that moment, I show the business and I say to them, I invite you to watch this group. You will see lots of testimonials about how Just Plus changed also our lifestyle. Okay, this doesn't mean that you need to do anything, but I just want to show it to you. Done.
And that's what really gets them, and then they come in.
Not all of them, of course, this is still a numbers game, isn't it? Not all of them, they will say yes straight away, but in a month, I had 3 people saying yes straight away in the same day. Yeah, exactly. This is making a big difference.
Yeah, no, that sounds amazing. And is that something you've been running for a while, or is that something quite new?
Now it's been, well, quite new. It's been 2-3 months now, and we all see an improvement. Because guys, the moment people like buying the products is the highest state of excitement. We shouldn't wait any longer to show also the business opportunity. There is no reason why. Why would you hide something so cool to your clients? So we realized that the best moment is exactly that one, because they will have results. And often I have some clients that are like, oh my God, Eliana, I'm having great results. I'm really considering to start because I already show it to them.
Really? Yeah, that's incredible. That's amazing. And so do you have 2 different groups? You have a group for the looking at the business, and then do you have a group for the potential customers, and they're coming in, but they're into, what type of group are they coming into?
So we do have actually we do work with groups a lot, secret groups, okay? So we do have a business testimonial group, okay? Yep. Then we do have products testimonial groups, and we also divided this product testimonials group in children health study, only mainly health in general, and one mainly for weight loss testimonials, okay? Of course, we never make any claims, okay? But we just want to target people in their need. If I get someone that says, oh my God, I have these problems, and I can say, look, this thing really helped Julia, and I show directly a similar story to hers, okay? Because that's what it makes it more powerful for the person to take a decision.
Yeah. And how long have you been running the groups for? For quite a long time?
Yeah. We always work with groups. I mean, I could never see myself not working with groups, because for us, the group is a tool. You know, Eric Worre always says you need to use tool instead of speaking for yourself, and that's what I do.
Say that again. Say that again, Eliana. What he says?
Yeah. Eric Worre always says use a tool to speak for yourself. Don't explain too much. So that's what I do. I do listen to them. I share my story. And the first things I do is invite them to the group, and a group will speak. I won't say a word. When people contact me, I say, I will explain you everything, but before they see the group, I explain nothing.
Yeah. That's amazing. Amazing. Well, Eliana, look, we're pretty much out of time. You have been so spectacular. I mean, I can see exactly why you've become so successful. But you've been so eloquent, and thank you for being so open with us about what you're doing.
Much sharing.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. I mean, it's just a wonderful thing. And I think there's a great feeling of excitement now that there's a clarity amongst everyone now about what needs to happen to make this work. The mystery is sort of, it's subsiding now, and people can see exactly what needs to be done. And I think this is so exciting. So thank you very much indeed. Will you be coming to the UK soon, or?
Yeah, I'm coming in September.
Right, okay. And events, running any events, or?
Well, like, not in September. I'm coming to some events actually, but I'm not making one myself.
Right, okay. All right, well, look, we really look forward to seeing you, and we're going to be following you online a lot more now, obviously, and I think everybody has enjoyed it absolutely tremendously tonight. So we have recorded it, and I'll get you a recording over, and yeah. So thank you very much indeed. We can't tell you how grateful we are.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me. It's an honor.
Okay, take care and have a really nice evening.